It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Biajilu Ugbo. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing.
How's your weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was restful, and I'm trying to forgive myself because when the month started, from the first of the month, I had looked at my chart and I said I wouldn't have any dots. So what I do, I have some rituals that I do daily. I must do daily, and when I do them, I check my box. So anytime I pass through my wardrobe and I see the checks, it gives me that, self-esteem. Like I'm able to achieve my goals, no matter how tiny they are. So I planned that in April. I had a lot of dots. Dots meaning I did not fulfill for that day, and I set out my plan. I was looking forward to May, and then malaria came. And those few days, I couldn't even get up to lift my arms to do exercise and all that. So when I passed, I saw a lot of dots. I'm like, okay. Anyway, they say when you wake up is your morning. So my morning starts today. I'm picking myself up.
Interestingly, I took
and I'm forgiving myself.
I took a tip from you from your video about setting an appointment and was it setting an alarm for certain things, certain tasks. One of the things I don't do is I don't call people. I mean, it's just so bad. So I now set an alarm. Okay, this few aunties this weekend.
Yes,
their name,
you must call them.
Call you, and I call them on Sunday, and they're like, "Right, you called me? Yeah, I called you." So thanks for that.
No matter how little it is, it works.
Good.
Yeah.
Hi, Dean Tokwe.
I'm very good.
I'm with you actually.
It's
all good. It's you.
So,
how are you doing?
I want to say thank you to the ladies for my gift. Thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful. I got the message, and I'm looking forward to
the spa sessions?
Yeah, going to Happiness Center and enjoying the moment. Then, thank you for my gift.
Which you didn't acknowledge.
Thank you for
this was
bad behavior.
You didn't acknowledge.
I'm so sorry. When you said it,
and I went, yes.
I went out of your way.
Like I really went out of my way, and I really, and I bought.
Maybe she didn't like it.
Yeah, and and then I also bought a lot of suya for her, a lot of chicken.
Yeah, I didn't see.
I told her, I sent a message. I said, "So you know how somebody."
She didn't see it.
I didn't see. No, I'm not. I'm serious.
It's okay.
So where's the suya now?
I feasted in my family.
It's fun, good. But let me just say that this weekend was a very, very. I was strong, like I was under the weather, and I had a very busy schedule. So on Saturday, I was teaching wives of our pastors public speaking, and I knew that I had said I was going to do that. So when they picked the date, even though it wasn't convenient, I had to show up. So Saturday, I was in church all through, very fulfilling. On Sunday, I was in Mrs. Jumoke Adeno's unveiling of our book, New Heritage. And trust me, all through those two occasions, I felt like I was literally feeling feverish, but I knew I had to show up on all of those things. So I didn't feel like I rested at all this weekend, and I know I still have a lot on my table.
It's always good
but
to hear both
thank
sides
you.
of the story. I'm fine. On Friday, I was at Outlier School for a book reading. It was an amazing experience, and my first time being in an Islamic school, so I got there with my veil on. I really loved the session. I felt very proud of myself, respected the culture there, and I'm just happy about Nigerian children. We're doing so much. The owner of the school, amazing lady, who's also a child psychologist, very lovely to have met her, and I just happy with the feedback. She was like, it wasn't just the children that learned, even as the adults that learned. And I get a lot of messages also from people saying to me, oh, I went here and I saw vultures, and because of you, I now know a little more. So thank you, and I'm happy that my voice is doing something. At least my voice is being heard. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back,
you're not telling us about you.
Time.
Please. People can always read the
After the break, we'll look at the pages. So the papers, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ask questions if I want to ask questions, and if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So like, this person might just say, you people can just be on Third Mainland Bridge on a bike, and the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So what would change the scenario for, like, Does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding up you
or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or even just una dey run for treadmill.
Or una dey jog.
Don't tell you lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like.
All right, let's start with the nation. Tinubu is best prepared ever. The president says Akonde. 69 senators have signed on for Akpabio. Barao says Ndume. 2 businessmen excrete 193 cocaine pellets in NDLA custody. Rising food prices, cash crunch push inflation to 17-year high. Olubadon or your ruling houses disagree over Makinde reform. Embassy to profile 160 women, children before evacuation from Sudan. Senators reps for inauguration in makeshift chambers. And NERC bars discos from billing disconnected customers. Okay, which story are we starting with?
We do the rising food prices.
Right, please.
Yes. So, according to the report, it said rising food prices and lingering effect of the cash crunch are eroding Nigerians' purchasing power as inflation heads to a new 17-year high. The Central Bank of Nigeria said it has launched a series of consultations and policy reforms to crash the rates and boost purchasing power. But there was an intelligence report by many economic and finance firms yesterday indicated that inflation may rise by about 50 basis points to between 22.50% and 22.67% in what may be the 4th consecutive month of increase. And ahead of that release, inflation report by the National Bureau of Statistics, independent consumer surveys and economic metric models, they are saying that inflation remained on the upward end. So there's a lot of data here listing how it has risen. Inflation rose by 13 basis points from 21.9% in February to 22.04% in March. And Nigeria has the 5th highest inflation rate in Africa and the 2nd highest in sub-Saharan Africa. And, you know, the bottom line of the whole data is the fact that even though the CBN has set up different monetary policies, they have so far not yielded any form of result, and inflation keeps going high. People no longer have the purchasing power, even with the salaries that are being increased and paid, and something needs to be done about this.
Okay, so the pioneer chairman of the APC, Chief Baci Akonde, was speaking yesterday at the 97th birthday anniversary of the Afenifere leader, Chief Reuben Fashion-Rotty. He was saying that Shiwaji, the president-elect, is well prepared and best prepared for presidency. According to him, he had created a 20-year master plan, 30-year master plan for Lagos State, and he's definitely sure that he will probably put together minimum of 50-year master plan for the whole of Nigeria once he assumes office, that he's best prepared for this job, and that he thanks God that this time around Nigerians have elected the leader who has planned long-term for this country, and definitely he believes that Nigeria will be better under his leadership.
And I have the National Emergency Management Agency, that's NEMA, has said another 160 women and children willing to be evacuated from Sudan will be profiled before they're airlifted. He also gave us a breakdown of those who have been here, who have been brought back. It says among those who were brought in, we had 23 sick people, including an 8-year-old who had jaundice and is being treated in the hospital. Then 10 were treated on an arrival at the airport by NEMA officials, Port Health and other medical personnel. We had 13 others who were referred to 108 Nigerian Air Force Hospital, to the 108 Nigerian Air Force Hospital in Abuja. One person was injured, being treated at a Federal Medical Center. And then NEMA also says that all students there have been evacuated. All of them have been evacuated. But then the ambassador also reached out to them and saying that 160 women and children without passports or anything, to identify them are willing to be evacuated. And so they've asked them to be profiled. It's important for them to be profiled so that we know that they're truly Nigerians. And by profiling, they want to know where their addresses are exactly here in Nigeria. So we don't bring in people who are now stranded in Nigeria and know where to go. We don't really know who they are. Yeah. So those people have to be profiled first before they are evacuated.
Please don't take the next story. So the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has made a very, very important decision that I'm very happy about, coming late to March 2023. Anyone who has been disconnected from power supply, they've now said that DISCOs shouldn't send bills, which for me is common sense. But there's been issues several times, people going to court in some cases and others having to settle out of court, where disconnected households for months without consuming any electricity officially get bills to their houses, and the bills are compiling. So they will whenever they now have to reconnect them, they will still have to pay for the months when they did not consume any electricity. So the regulatory agency has said that with this new amendment, the Customer Protection Regulation 2023, the Commission has now said bills, customers can only get bills when they are reconnected. Also, they mentioned the fact that if you don't have a meter, there is now a system for calculating what your estimated bills should be. It should be the average of what is being paid within the area. They also broke down that if anything goes wrong, maybe your light trips off, within 24 hours, somebody must be able to come and check if they want to be able to bill you. Because if you don't have power, you shouldn't be paying those bills. I'm happy about this, and I hope they'll be able to resolve for those in the past who've had to pay for power they didn't consume.
The Punch. States paying governors jumbo pensions owe 3 trillion naira debt. Speaker Abbas Betara split opposition camp. Prisoners feeding. States force federal government seek new revenue formula. Nigeria imports 2.7 trillion naira sugar as government master plan stalls. Death shakes Nollywood as 3 actors, technicians die in 1 week. Seun Kuti, musician, made reports to police today, appoints Falano. Operators demand tough sanctions as Nigeria loses 313 billion naira to oil thieves. Why I rejected request to visit Tinubu, says Bode George. 86 senators will support me, says Akpabio. Okay, which story are we starting with in Punch?
Okay, should I start with the jumbo pensions that outgoing governors will be getting despite, our debts and also all sorts of things, unpaid workers' salaries and things like that. They're saying, Punch is saying, no, they did a report, full report, but I'll summarize. 18 outgoing state governors will retire into lives of luxury with generous pension benefits despite mounting debts and unpaid workers' salaries. According to data from Debt Management Office, the debt figures for these 18 states included 2.27 trillion domestic loans and that's naira, and $1.71 billion foreign borrowing. The foreign debt is about 787.51 billion naira. That's at the exchange rate of 460 naira 53 kobo. And the debt figure as of December 2022, okay, so they've given that. Anyway, so they listed all these 18 governors. Most of them, most of them were two-time, they had done their 2 terms, except for the Zamfara State governor who lost his re-election attempt. Then they says all these governors are entitled to generous monetary pensions, mansions to be built in locations of their choice, luxury vehicles and domestic, as well as security aids, among others. And this, of course, we know is based on the laws that were passed by their respective state houses of assembly. We need to just read it and read the
states that cannot pay salaries should not be having this. States,
if you read per state, yes, what they get and what they owe, it makes you sad.
This is a topical.
Yeah, it is.
Order of priority.
Because if you are not generating, you shouldn't be collecting. States who are generating, someone like Governor Wike can say, I can collect pension, maybe I'm generating revenue. But states, I'm just giving an example.
Whether you're generating or not.
As long as you are owing.
Of Nigeria.
No,
but it makes sense.
It's a conversation.
You shouldn't now, because it's natural. It's a fell into the state.
Competition for governors to not get them to work. I'm going to break it down. Let's calm down. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger! Take it. Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Omo fela. Omo Anikulapo Kuti.
It's by Audison, it's not by Audison.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. So I was going to take the story concerning the prisoners feeding. If you recall, the president had signed the constitutional review, which placed the correctional services on the concurrent list. With reference to that, the Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola, has said that starting January 1st, 2024, states would therefore be responsible for feeding their inmates, as opposed to how the federal government used to feed them. Of course, lots of states have rebelled, saying that doesn't even make any sense. Government like Ogun State, Gombe, Ondo, Delta, Borno, Osun, Rivers, and many others saying, don't come and relegate your responsibilities to us. But Ogun State, for example, said that these are things that don't via due process. You can't just use an executive fair to change something that's been done. Gombe said, what are you talking about? I wonder why government is trying to outsource its responsibility to states. Others are saying that this is something that we have to look again. But the objective really is to make the center less heavy, because a lot of people are dependent on the federal government to do a lot of things. So, for example, paying to survive. So they're saying that the federal government pays, helps the inmates to feed them, and they're costing millions or trillions of naira. Oh. States should be able to do that themselves.
Or they should make the prison sustainable. Give them land to be farming. I don't understand.
All right, it's a possible conversation to have, but
it costs a lot of money to keep people.
Yeah, absolutely.
All over the world.
Another story.
Crude oil production in Nigeria crashed by over 9 million barrels between March and April 2023, and that led to a cumulative revenue loss of about 356 billion, according to the Punch. And then they are blaming the plunge in oil production on the recent strike by some oil workers, which also warranted the shutdown of production at selected wells for a period, as well as the theft of crude by thieves. And this is why they are calling for a tougher investigation. And as they are alleging that there are a lot of people who may be culpable, who are working in the oil ports, export terminals, that may be culpable in this fraud and theft at the terminals. So they went ahead to give a breakdown of the data, and according to the figures, they are saying that Nigeria's output in February was 1,306,304 barrels per day, and it fell to 1,206,202 barrels per day in March, before crashing to 998,602 barrels in April. And they give some of the reasons why this happened. But the President Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Gills Harry, said that the oil outputs that is drastically reducing is posing a dangerous sign to Nigeria. This is a sign of trouble coming, because they thought that with the Tompolo team, they'll be able to, produce more and churn out more oil. But now it's dropping from over 1.3 million barrels per day to 900. And that means that we have lost about 400 barrels, which is very negative and a bad trend for Nigeria. It typically means that we are really not producing oil that we claim we are producing. So and it's really sad.
I want to take the story about sugar. So we have a sugar policy. It's one of the things that the government is always talking about, National Sugar Development Council. But despite the fact that 170 billion has been committed to boosting self-sufficiency within Nigerian sugar production, we still spent 2.7 trillion on raw sugar imports during the decade-long period. So there are improvements with the policy, because we now have production done locally by likes of Dangote Sugar Refinery, BUA Sugar Refinery, Golden Sugar Refinery. But in order to achieve this refining sugar locally, we are not doing the second part, which is a backward integration program where we are financing sugar plantations. What we are doing is importing raw materials. So there's a change in the policy now to ensure that those that are importing raw materials no longer get quota for importation if they are not investing into sugar production, the production of raw materials here. And they say we need 250,000 hectares of sugar plantation to be able to meet our needs. And so far, we are barely 50%. The president inaugurated 10,000 hectares irrigation just last year. So we're still not doing the backward integration. We're just importing raw sugar and refining it. So it's not really, no, we're processing, but we're not maximizing the opportunity. We have this land. We just need to plant. Yeah. So they say they are open to investors to come and plant sugar for us so that we can have.
Moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. Obasanjo blames Nigeria's woes on poor leadership. 2,518 Nigerians evacuated from Sudan, says federal government. 2 in NDLEA custody excrete 193 cocaine pellets.
Yes.
National Assembly leadership, ex-South National Assembly members reject microzoning. Banks, companies, shareholders groan under excessive AMCON charges. 13 polio cases reported in Zamfara. 2 other states in 2023, says WHO. And 10 billion naira judgment debt. Senate indicts Justice Ministry. Let me start with the NDLEA story. So, the NDLEA had arrested 2 individuals at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. They both excreted 193 pellets of cocaine. The names are Mr. Ono Ebere, 49-year-old, Christian Ifeanyi Ubochi, 47. They were intercepted in Abuja. They were actually en route. They came in from Uganda via Addis Ababa on board the Ethiopian Airlines, and their destination was Abuja. These 2 gentlemen, one I think it was Ibere, excreted 100 pellets, while the other man, Christian, expelled 93 pellets hidden in their stomach. Also, similarly, in Sabongari, in Kano State, actually, 2 other suspects, let me mention their names also. I'm trying to get their names. Abubakar Salau, 55, and Nazifi Abdullahi, 25, were also arrested on Sunday along the Kaduna-Maiduguri road. They also had 5,000 pills of tramadol and 65,000 tablets of tramadol, respectively. And they're also both arrested. So, I mean, we see some of the work that NDLE is doing to arrest some of these drug peddlers. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Are we taking no. Could be quiet now. I was not wondering.
That story was, I think we were digesting it.
I was not wondering why you get so quiet. Okay, what's the story?
World Health Organization has confirmed that there are 13 cases of polio right now in 3 states in Nigeria. They put out a statement on their Twitter page confirming that Zamfara State accounted for over 50% of the variant polio virus cases reported in Nigeria, and then there were 2 other unnamed states, that had the remaining 50%. The World Health Organization also indicated that the UNICEF and Gavi have designed a support system with our National Primary Healthcare Development Agency to sort of, support, giving of these vaccines. World Health Organization is optimistic that as long as we keep administering the vaccines, in addition to other, healthy measures, that we will definitely stop the transmission of the virus in the affected areas and spread into other areas as well. And thankfully, also, they say traditional rulers in the communities are involved in pushing the message, making sure people are getting vaccinated and immunized.
I'll take the AMCON story. So banks and shareholders are groaning and complaining about the excessive charges that they are having to pay to AMCON. So AMCON, as we know, is the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, and the job of AMCON is to stabilize financial companies that have defaulted on loans or having issues. Some people even say their companies reach out directly to AMCON to help them with funds to stabilize themselves, but they said they are alleging now that AMCON, instead of doing their job, which is just to provide stability, is now focusing on politics of selling off some assets to their cronies and putting heavy charges on banks. Many banks are having to pay charges to AMCON, and they're complaining, shareholders are complaining about it. I think AMCON can also give a press release to explain why those charges, what those charges represent, and why they are imposing those charges, and the process of selling off AMCON assets, because a lot of the assets they are complaining are being sold off at under the price of the actual value, and it's being sold to people within that have connections within the office of AMCON.
All right, final paper, Vanguard. Shetima South governors move to split opposition ranks. Assault, policeman Seun Kuti's house and shrine. Forex, insurers transfer over 60% oil and gas businesses abroad. Reconciliation, I have no running battle with Tinubu, says Bode George. Hardship, Presidency Anglican Archbishop trade words. Tambor calls for unity among re-elected incoming PDP governors. And NECA fumes over federal government's 100% excise duty on beverages and others. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Yeah, I took a story inside. It says police has arrested one Owate Bode for hacking his mother to death in Eleme local government area, Rivers State, for allegedly denying him money to buy her drugs. So what happened was that he asked his mother to give him 10,000 naira to buy drugs, and she refused. And then he took out a hoe and hacked her to death. Thankfully, the community young men around saw him, held him down and took him to the police station. So he's been arrested, and he confessed to actually hacking his mother with a hoe to the commissioner of police. So investigations are ongoing right now, and the mother has been deposited to the mortuary. It's just so painful.
On Mother's Day, eh?
Honestly, NECA is complaining. They are fuming, according to Vanguard, about the federal government's 100% excise duty on beverages. They said that we know that there's been unemployment hovering at 40%. There's challenges of getting foreign direct investment into Nigeria, and that this is going to affect us even getting more foreign direct investment in Nigeria. They understand that Nigeria is facing challenges with raising funds, but proposing an increase would spike cost of production and reduce competitiveness between Nigerian manufacturers and local international markets. So the conversation is that this will not improve growth of business and manufacturing. It will lead to smuggling and stifle growth of businesses within the beverage sector, and it would just really out the negatives of what this excise duty would cost to Nigeria.
Okay, that is all we can take on the front page review. I really wanted to read that Body George story. I wanted to know what he has to say.
At the point.
But let us... Oh, and the point. You had a story at the point. Oh, I guess we run out of time. Do apologize. All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we start with our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ask questions if I want to ask questions, and if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just, I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person, but then would it make a difference where? So like this person might just say, you people can just be on Third Mainland Bridge on a bike, and the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So what would change? What would change the scenario? Like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding your be right.
Or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you might just they run for treadmill.
Or you not a joke.
I'll tell you, you'll lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this
point? The car will
point?
be stationary.
Pray I'm not the one driving.
Just pray. Stationary.
Because I go master. You can't be telling me like me. I'm going to drive near water. You must consider.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I will drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I will drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, let me give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have?
Nikon.
My friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without you.
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you said I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
and it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions with me. I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus Tony. Oh, thank you. See all the Lee Coco things you do. They make me no. Who said this?
I want to every day closer. Girl, I want to make you closer.
Okay.
Upslading closer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun have you had on the show?
11, 10.
11?
10, yes.
11? Now we're going to terminate the show. Please, my producer, this is where we're cutting it. Cameraman, cut it. You don't cut. Okay, I'm just kidding.
The hottest music videos.
Check it out. Let's go.
Topping the charts. Right here on the Max World Chart Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
Thanks for staying with us. So over the weekend, a video went viral showing Seun Kuti seen pushing and slapping an officer of the law, policeman. People have condemned this act. However, according to his Instagram post, he said that this policeman tried to kill him and he has proof, but he's not the type to chase clout. His actions have been condemned, even now we heard that the Inspector General of Police have asked or called for his arrest. We also got news that he's hired lawyer Femi Falana, SAN, to defend him, and according to Femi Falana, he'll be reporting to the police this morning himself. So hopefully we can then see how the case will proceed afterwards. But the conversation is about the video, which is not the full picture, because we all understand when we see a video, there are always 5, 6 sides to every story. But based on what we could see, many have condemned the act. What are your thoughts on this? Because this is a rather, this is somebody who has a voice. This is somebody who many Nigerians listen to. When you say few Nigerians who are eloquent, who are charismatic, who have a perspective, who have a viewpoint, who are able to express their perspective to the world, is Seun Kuti. He has a video he does once in a while where he goes live, and he's somebody who is quite knowledgeable about so many topics. You know, he has a lot of following because of his brilliance in eloquence. But when you see somebody like that in this kind of act, you now begin to think, what happened?
What is the full story? That's the conversation. What are your thoughts on the videos that have gone viral? You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so I wanted us to compartmentalize this conversation. So we know Seun Kuti, as I said before, he's one of those young youth leaders who has a following. He's big on Africanness, you know, he's big on nationalism, and he has Nigerians follow him. And he's a known voice. Not just that, he's the son of the Afrobeat legend. So people know Seun Kuti. Now, in this situation, these bouts of anger that we saw on camera, people were now trying to go, what happened? What could have caused it? Many of us have actually had situations whereby somebody either hits us or aggravates us, and we find a way to control it. But in this video, what came across to you when you saw that video? What do you think happened? As I said, we don't have an official statement yet from what transpired from the police angle. We don't have that yet because we tried several times to reach the police to give us an angle. Nobody said anything. Even Seun Kuti hasn't said much more. His phone has been switched off since yesterday. So we don't have the perspective. All we know is what is in this video and what Seun had posted earlier concerning the fact that this man tried to kill him. So we can now deduce different angles from this. But let me start with Tokwe. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so every time I watch the video, I just sort of like, there's a shiver, and like it was very violent, you know, and we've always spoken on this show, and we've always addressed issues that no matter what happens, we can never respond in violence with violence. Even if we are being violated or somebody is getting violence to us, we shouldn't give back violence in any situation. And obviously, whatever the story will be holistically, one thing is clear. Seun Kuti exhibited violence towards a police officer wearing the uniform, and that is wrong. I'd like to get the details of what caused it. I'd like to get information. I'd like to think that maybe there's something else, probably something else was in his mind before that happened. Maybe he's reacting to whatever situation. But you know, with the way you've established who Seun is and the way we know who Seun is, to whom much is given, much is expected. You've already placed yourself on a pedestal like this. You're a very knowledgeable person. You're someone we look up to when we're thinking, we want to know what is right from what is wrong. We want you to help us to decipher a situation. We want you to give us clarity. We want you to lead the young people. We cannot afford to see you in this light. It is very, very bad. So I'm hoping that in the course of justice running its course, we get to hear the backstory. And we've seen a few celebrities fall our hand. And because they are human beings, they are human beings, so things can happen. Funke Akindele had her own drama. She said, and she continued doing her thing. There are many things that can happen. So we would like to see justice run its course. We'd like to see people know that there can be repercussions for wrong action, and it doesn't demean the person from being able to continue speaking truth to power in some other instances. But that's my opinion.
Ma'am, let me come to you. What are your thoughts when you saw that video?
Of course, you know, first of, you would, you know, you have described him, but another thing is we also know that he is the brother to our very dearest YK. And, you know, this is a family that we know and we love. And so to talk about this, when it happens almost so close to home, I know many people are watching and thinking, let's hear what they are going to say and how they're going to say it. And the truth is, from what I saw in that video, what happened put Seun Kuti in a very bad light. What he did based on that video was completely wrong. He shouldn't have attacked the police officer. It did not look right. I don't have any, based on that video, there's no justification, no rationalization for me. But also, you know, when these things happen, is that I always say sometimes when this happens is that it allows for us to learn so many lessons. There are many lessons to learn from this. That we're all human, we make mistakes, and that even when we do, we should be willing to acknowledge the mistakes that we have made, and also, you know, allow justice to take its course. And if there's anything that we need to do to pay, you know, like punishment, we must serve it. It's a bad example also because of who he is and what he stands for and how he has used his voice, you know. And it is even much more important. Do you understand? It's much more important to see how this plays out because of how he, you know, that is such a big influence and an influencer, you know. And if it does not go the right way, people will take it as this is the right behavior to exhibit towards our police officers, and it's not right. If you have a problem with a police officer, there is a way to handle it. You should not, this video looks so bad, you should not be seen, you know, attacking a police officer. And it looked even worse because the police officer didn't attack back. You know? So I don't know what happened before. So in my mind, did the police officer take a gun, cock it at him and his family? And I can understand how that can be scary. But if that's not what happened and you're still hitting a police officer, especially when the police officer isn't hitting you back, honestly, until I hear what I can't rationalize or justify that behavior.
Let me come to BC to get your thoughts, your initial thoughts on this, on the video. Because even the commentator, the guy who was recording was like, oh, he hit his car, And we're trying to figure out, okay, how bad was the impact of the hit? We're not even sure. That's what I was thinking. Maybe it was a hit on an expressway, which can actually be dangerous. That could be life-threatening for anybody. If somebody just hits me while I am on 3rd Mainland Bridge with my family, I could get really upset. But what are your thoughts, BC, on this?
So accidents can happen. When I saw the video, I was speculating probably there's a hit somewhere, and that happens to all of us. If you're driving in Lagos, you know.
We don't like to eat better, more.
Somebody. But we do not advise that you come out and you start assaulting the person that it has happened to you. You must find a way to have a conversation. Okay, who is fixing what car? How did you make this mistake? And you talk about it. And sometimes numbers are exchanged, mechanics are called, and these things are easily resolved, right? But what I saw in that video was a lot of anger. And I didn't think that that anger was just based on what happened. You know, there's a way we transfer aggression for certain calibers of people.
Exactly.
So when something happened, you're not reacting because of what happened. You're reacting 50-something years back, 20-something years back, 30-something years back. That was what I felt from watching the video. And assaulting a policeman in uniform is something we speak against here. We say even when they come to arrest you for something you've done, you have to obey, go to the police, get your lawyer, you know, do things the right way. We want a new Nigeria, a Nigeria where everybody is under the rule of law, and we must be seen to keep it. If you carry out any infractions along the police, you know, on the roads, you must be seen to follow the rule of law. If you have to beg, you beg. You have to apologize, even if the police is on the wrong. And I walk right on the express every day. I see how reckless these police people drive their vehicles. We already know them. So once they are doing one close to you, I just tell my driver, please, Biko, slow down and allow them pass, because I don't want wahala. But even if it happens, it's a message you are sending across that it's okay to harass these people. These people, irrespective of the person who has bashed you or whatever the person has tried to do to you, there's something they represent. There's something that uniform represents. And that uniform must be respected, especially knowing that you're someone that people are watching. People are looking up to you. You have fans everywhere. You must be seen to show restraint in public in certain ways. So I didn't like the fact that, and I was asking myself when I was looking at the picture, I said, this is unlike the typical police that we know. Yeah. Why is this man not responding? Why is this man not reacting? Right. I've seen police on the way and things like this happen. You just see everybody, you're raising gun and pointing and all of that. But this one was just very calm, and I was wondering what could have happened to this level where this sort of assault has to be done. But it is wrong. We must speak against it, and we expect that investigations will further prove what happened.
Exactly. You know, I was telling somebody, when we were talking about this over the weekend, and I was telling somebody that when I got my new car, like, the car was less than 2 weeks old. When I was on that Okwebi roundabout, I was about merging into 20th Street. Some guys, young guys, just hit me from the back right. I was livid. I parked the car because this car was just like 2 weeks old. I came down, I said, Nigerian youth, look at you. You know, I was going mad. I was like, Nigerian youth, you cannot drive. Who gave you driver's license? I was so upset. But as I was shouting at them, nobody was Auntie Murayo, sorry. I just
remembered yourself.
I remember Murayo, Auntie Murayo. Even the guys in the car, there are 5 of them. They were nice. They were all young people. Say, Auntie Murayo, sorry. I'm like, oh, Father in heaven.
I can't even express my anger.
Okay, I enter my car, just give me.
Nigerian youth.
All of them. I was just screaming, Nigerian youth, look at you, give me them.
We the people.
You know, but you see, that was the anger.
Yeah.
The reaction. Because I can understand if Seun Kuti is saying, you try to kill me, there's a possibility. Maybe the guy hates it. We don't know yet. But even if he did, the question is, did it require that kind of reaction from him? And that's what I was saying. What I even thought you were going to say earlier was the fact that I felt that the possibility that there was some kind of anger he had already in the car. You know when you and your husband are having a spark over something, you're arguing, you and maybe
aggression.
And then you're upset, you're arguing in the car, and some clown now hits you. You come down, that aggression you want to go and give. You explode on the other person.
Yeah.
So if so much of what
when he came down and he saw the American president standing there, would he have reacted the way he reacted? So it also shows a lack of respect for the uniform. Absolutely. We must say it as it is, right? And we need to educate ourselves better on that.
Yes, and I know that, and I also want us to take away the emphasis on how he must have felt before this happened. 50, 20 years or a few minutes in his car. What he did was wrong, and I want, Nigerians to know that this is not how we should treat police officers. Right. This is not how we should handle issues with police officers. In fact, even amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
we shouldn't get out of the car and be slapping each other and be hitting each other. There was one time my driver hit another car in front of me. I told you it was your brother that saved the situation. The owner of the car came out like a Dracula. Dragon. I'd never seen that sort of. I know people come out and they're upset, but this guy was venting, panting, sweating. I was behind the car with my children, holding them for our dear lives. Luckily, your brother is his friend, and when I was like, "Hi," he was like, "Oh, it's you," and then he said something to him in Yoruba. The guy was like, "Oh my God!" He just stopped. Like, "All right, you can go." So because. Even if you don't know someone, but it could be a brother, a sister, a family. Let's just think of each other that way. And then we can exchange numbers. And if the damage is that bad, we figure that out. And then if it's the police officer, at least with that, you can even go to the law, and make it an issue. But do not assault a police officer.
Let's talk about the police officer for a second. Because since NSAS, NSAS was a major turning point for Nigerians when it comes to how we respond or react to police. Many Nigerian youths still don't like the Nigerian police. Many people they can't even stand the police. Even the other day, you told me that when the Nigerian police stopped you, you were actually already on the offensive. You're like, you know what, I'm ready to whatever you did. Your defense was up. But when you now found out the guy was just really, really being polite to you, and you were shocked. And then, so that's a good thing. So we understand there are reforms going on. We understand the police is trying to change. It will take years because it might not percolate across the nation, maybe certain spots. But this man in particular didn't respond. I was shocked. Because a Nigerian police being pushed like that. You push a Nigerian police. So I didn't see a gun. You got pushed first. The guy went around. He slapped your face, and you are still there. Hey Joe, this is the Nigerian police.
So, the truth is, we've seen there are different there are a whole lot constituting Nigerian police. There are thousands of people, hundreds of, I don't know, 100.
About 300,000, yeah.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people. There will be some that would react in violence, and there'll be some that will not. And the way when God wants to catch you, this is what will happen. It will have been easy to defend if the moment they slapped, then they entered tear shed kind of thing. But when life wants to teach you a lesson, it will make you get angry with someone who is calm.
Yes.
Just to show that you are supposed to learn this lesson. So I think this is a teachable moment for Seun Kuti himself, and it's very humbling. I'm sure he would feel that way when he sees it and the backlash he's gotten. But I hope he learns the lesson. And the truth is, we all might have areas where we have our weaknesses, and we should learn, we move on, we're better for it at the end of the day.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our conversation. I'll take a few calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
can ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just... I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So, like, this person might just say, you people can just be on 3rd Mainland Bridge on a bike. And the person say, babe, I cannot do it again. And you lose range. So, what would change the scenario? Like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding up you right.
Or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you might just they run for treadmill.
Or you not a joke.
I'll tell you, you'll lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person, you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this point?
The car will be stationary.
Pray I'm not the one driving.
Just pray. Stationary.
Because I go master. You can't be telling me like me. I'm going to drive near water.
All
of us should consider.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it.
Thanks for staying with us. You can still call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Excuse me. There are people who are supporting Seun Kuti, and I saw on social media many of them were saying that it serves the Nigerian police right. Many average Nigerians face this kind of police all the time, doing stuff and harassing Nigerian citizens, that they've now met their match. They met somebody who was able to accost them and, charge back at them and give them what they deserve, And when I hear those kind of comments, I'm thinking to myself, okay, how do we understand where they're coming from? Because a lot of Nigerian young people say that they can't wait for an opportunity to slap the police, because you see, there's a video that also went viral where a police officer was slapping a citizen in the mall. We don't know how long ago that video was, but people have videos of where police are harassing citizens. We complain. In fact, it's what led to NSAS in the first place. But do we take laws into our own hands? Do we begin to harass police because we feel that, this one looks like a very, very quiet police, like this slap? How do we build a nation around that? Because when things now disintegrate or fall apart, is this same police will still call to protect us? Even Seun Kuti, for example, when anything happens now, it's still police will call to come and protect us. So there's going to be all this, So whether we like it or not, if we harass them, we don't harass them, we still need the law enforcement at some point.
We have had a taste of anarchy, what anarchy looks like in Nigeria. Anarchy where the police said, I'm not protecting you again. I'm staying on my own. We saw what happened when that happened. We saw how bad things got, that even with we can be insulting that they're not doing anything for us, but when they step out, we saw how bad things could get. So I think that we cannot overemphasize that we need to have the police officers protecting us. We need to respect them. We know that they're not perfect. We know that they have their challenges, but we don't want to retaliate, because when we start taking laws into our hands, we have challenges. We've seen that happen with jungle justice. When somebody feels, I cannot trust the system, I'm going to fight for myself. We've seen how that has led to some innocent people getting killed because there was no process to get justice properly served. We've also seen cases when the police stepped out and people started robbing and looting because there was nobody to maintain law and order. So, like it or not, we need them.
Yeah. Let me take this call. Hassan from Lekki, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
sir. Morning, sir.
Please, for those supporting Seun Kuti, they are birds of the same feather. That's my reply to them. Number two, what Seun did is uncalled for, is dehumanizing, and it's a demonstration of arrogance to the core. And he should be ready to apologize to the Nigerian police force, to Nigerians, because this policeman is an amulet policeman and very gentle policeman, and he's a son, a father, a brother to somebody. Please, we should learn to respect humanity. We should learn to be humane. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. So, two wrongs can never make a right. And when we say we want to see a change, we must learn to be the change we want to see. We must learn. For some people, it's a bit more difficult than others. But if you put your mind to it and you say, I want to continually work to become a better person, the system that I'm criticizing, I must not be seen to begin to act like them. Because sometimes we criticize and criticize and criticize, and we're criticizing exactly who we are because we're doing the same thing, only that the spotlight has not been shown on us. So we must be very careful on that. No matter what has happened, there's an example that we must teach. There's an example that we must learn, and that is two or few, whether it's a human being with uniform or not, assault must not be done. And some people will say, I'm looking for an opportunity to deal with the Nigerian police. They've done this to me. You must not be the one to teach them the lesson. Why do you want to be the one teaching the Nigerian police the lesson? The people who still have a mindset of teaching lesson, let them do it. And when they grow out of it, fantastic for them. But you must not be seen to be the one giving the lesson. You are not a judge. You are not a jury. Your job is to be a good human being. Right. So the thing is, we must not assault. We must always learn to use our words. I've always said this before, and we must begin to teach our young ones to use your words. No matter what, use your words. Communicate. You don't need to use your hands. You don't need to hit somebody else. You need to respect their boundaries, respect their space, and learn to use your words. Even if he was angry and he insulted, people wouldn't have taken it as much as him hitting. So they could have seen the video, seen him exchanging words, insulting, but he kept his hands to himself. That's a lighter offense compared to seeing, that assault, push. Yes, it's wrong totally. We must not.
Let me take this call from Alari Waj, who's calling from the UK. Good morning, Alari Waj, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, the lady.
Good morning.
What I will say about this, I've been here over 33 years in this country. And then once you are in uniform, you represent the country. I was in the Navy before I came here. Once you put that uniform on, there should be respect. What Seun did, I'm not saying I won't lie to you. It's one of my, favorite in the Kuti family and the sister here. All of them, they are very good. But what he did, he need to apologize to the whole Nigeria, apologize to the policeman, and whatever fine that he have to be given, he have to take it and let it be an example for people that what Seun did is wrong. For others not to do. Can he do that to the military man, the soldier? Can he slap a soldier man like that? He will never. So what he did, he need to apologize to the whole nation and to the man.
Thank you, Mr. Larry Waju. That's the second caller saying he needs to apologize. That's an interesting angle. But Seun Kuti to me is such a, for me, because I always categorize him as one of the very few Nigerians who are above bar. They're very intelligent. There are not so many of us that are at that level where we are reading books and we are able to articulate various perspectives concerning African nationalistic views on how we as Africans can project ourselves above others. He doesn't understand the weightiness of who he is. He's beyond just an artist, a musical artist. He's not just somebody who is Fela's son. He himself is an embodiment of knowledge to some sort, so that he's higher. Somebody was saying the other day that one of the few eloquent Nigerians who nobody sends anymore is Femi Fani-Kayode. He's like when FFK used to speak back in the day. you know that somebody who is speaking is speaking. But after all the scandals, all the things we're saying, the weightiness of a Femi Fani-Kayode today, even as much as right now he's trying to, bring back himself, but that was the FFK we knew. But Seun Kuti still has that clout. He still has that embodiment of an eloquent Nigerian who speaks, advocates for Nigerians.
And maybe if he apologizes, he can get it back.
He can get that back, because in every generation there are a few of those who speak. They're not all of us. All of us cannot be at the forefront, but there are a few of them like that, and he must maintain it's such an important role for him that this apology is required to get that back.
So apart from the lessons we've learned about assault and how to handle anger issues with law and each other, also I think this is a lesson to all of us.
Yeah.
Especially public eye, celebrity, and find yourself in an embarrassing situation, and you find
your mic is off. Sorry about that. We'll come to you. Let me take this call, then I'll go on a break. Peter, thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm happy belated birthday to Success.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, coming to the issue of Seun Kuti,
right.
My opinion is very straightforward. We all believe that what Seun did is actually uncalled for.
Right.
He didn't practice what he preached or what he's been preaching to us. Some of us are following him. He's like a role model to a lot of us. But the action he took is really, really uncalled for. Like other people have spoken, he really needs to come out and apologize to the whole country, apologize to the Nigerian force, because a lot of youth will use this opportunity and engage the police going forward. So if he does that now, he's going to really, really calm the nerve and show that he is mature and that what he did, he's sorry about it.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we get Mariam's point, and then we wrap up on this, because thank God we have some good news story to talk about later. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
When was the first Gulda ultimate search? Editor?
Don't put any cricket sound. I'm talking. Okay, Pere. How many times has Ghana qualified for the World Cup?
5 times. Hey, you can't do that now.
That's what it is.
Wait. Calm down. Why are you like this?
This is your team.
Small play now.
They will not
Somebody cannot play with you again.
They will not be impressed though. The team that you're supporting. And
Ghana will be alright.
Yeah, that's last.
Charlie? Cheers, Charlie.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the Seun Kuti story, and Mariam had a point to make.
Yes, I was going to say that for people in celebrities and people in the public eye, this can also be a lesson. And the lesson would be what you do from here on, what Seun does from here on out, how he decides to comport himself in the situation. If he goes ahead and he's still being angry and loud, you know, it would diminish him a lot more than if he acknowledges what he's done and apologizes to the Nigerian police and, you know, his followers and all that. It would bring him even more respect, because it's important, no matter how big and confident you are, that you can be humble as well. Yeah. Those are really, humility is very important, you know, for everyone. And it would now teach a lot of our younger ones what to do when they find themselves in embarrassing situations, when you have done wrong. We have to learn that when we do wrong, we acknowledge it and we change our ways. So I hope he does that.
Few messages that I have. This one from Otumba Karim. Says, good morning, Muriel. Seun's action in the video is condemnable and falls short of his status. Seun, like the legendary fella, are one of the moral compass of this nation. No matter the action of the policeman, he ought to have calmed down and not resort to assaulting the policeman. However, Muriel, to take Jesus or the Holy Prophet in you not to react to the nuisance and idiosyncrasies of the policemen in this country. Imagine a policeman asking a grandmother 50 years over to submit her phone for checking along the Sherry Expressway, especially Sherry Expressway Link Road. An elderly woman in her hijab. According to, so he was like, then there are many aggravate a lot of this anger. Yes, we know that. And that the question comes to, do we want a nation? Do we all just want to all react? Because if we all want to choose to react to everybody, every policeman that stops us, hits us, or demands money for us, it break down. So those who are saying, yes, he did the right thing. If it, I mean, those who are even saying that many of them are comfortable in Germany or in they
cannot try it in their place.
So they say it. I'm just saying that is my own personal clinical. But many of these people just feel like, yes, Nigerian police, they deserve some of that. But you see, we have to remind ourselves if we want a nation or not, because as much as the police is a work in progress, the Inspector General Police tell you they are doing everything they can. It's a work in progress, but they're not there yet. Because tomorrow now we'll see one policeman harass one Nigerian in maybe one highway somewhere. Because that's
and he will refer to.
And it's referred to. So we understand they're not there yet. But at the same time, we must not begin to attack the law enforcement agencies. Yes, go ahead. Let's take a few more comments.
Professor Imonoka Enakena Jr. says, assault on any Nigerian is not advisable, especially that Seun Kuti, who should have known better irrespective of what happened. He should never have slapped a uniformed policeman on duty or any citizen. He could have been killed for... Okay, so maybe he was trying to say that what if the policeman had retaliated and shot at him? You know,
we didn't take the angle or the fact that, you know, Seun Kuti said that this man wanted to kill me. Okay, so is that a crime? I mean, of course it's a crime, but how do we respond to the fact that there's a possibility that this policeman actually maybe tried to hit him into the point where he felt his family was in danger? That in itself is also an issue we have to address. Police chasing you on highway.
We've had police chasing people and it's leading to death. Leading to casualties. So we know that it is a possibility that being chased by a policeman can lead to death. But we also know that whichever way, no matter how aggravated you are, you should not. It's the violence part. So
I'll take your comments in a second. Let me take Adesonya. Has been holding for a minute from Abuja. Good morning, Adesonya. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling.
How are you?
Very well.
How is everything?
Good, sir.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was
only that I've not seen my cake, but I know you still said it. Anyway, in fact, I want to just go to this Seun Kuti's issue. It's quite condemning. I don't like it. If I is too young to be doing, or even the father never did that when he was alive. He's just 40, and for a young man like that to be doing such, to me, if I is uncalled for. It's uncalled for. In fact, some people look at him, as young as he is, they still look at him as a role model. So for him doing that, but even watching you saying that maybe he should apologize, it's not about apology. It has gone beyond that. The police has to take his course. You understand? So that because other people can also do it again. It's quite unfair. I'm really disappointed. Even while watching the video, I feel so sad that a young man like that can do such.
Thank you very much. Now, when I was talking, I was thinking of the Nigerian culture. You use one hand to bamowi, you use the other hand to hand. So, I mean, as much as we like the law to take its course, we're also Nigerians. We're very compassionate people. We're the kind of people we have the kind of people that say, now, please, now. If he acknowledges and apologizes, maybe they should allow him, to...
There's a punishment. There has to be restitution.
But that's the Nigerian factor. We know how to find or shade the law for our own people. But please help us understand. But we'll see how it goes, because he's hired
the thing is, if this person...
do we still have someone there?
There was a caller. Good morning, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Sounds like he's here.
Go ahead.
Okay, person has gone. So I was saying that, someone who is not as well-known or popular may have gotten away with it. There are some people who may have connections, know people. They would have called one or two people and quietly gone away. But because he's who he is and all that he stands for, everybody is watching to see how we handle this.
Yeah.
So he will. I mean, the police would want to make an example.
Yes, they have to.
How it should be done, how that sort of person should be treated. Right. And use him as a teaching, as a lesson for the rest of us, not to ever make that mistake.
And maybe the police recognized him and just decided, okay, I will keep my hands to myself. Let's see how this goes. Possible. Because that's not like the typical reaction of
the policeman felt really bad for what he had done, and he was shocked, like, oh my God, I was just somebody. 80 different scenarios here.
Let us, as Nigerians, try to respect ourselves, not only uniform people. Let him just apologize to Nigerians, the policeman, and then we can move on. That's
so let me go back to that apology part, because I know our people. If it's America, or abroad, it's black or white. You commit a crime,
you do the time.
You do the time, yes. But we are Africans.
Let me take Immaculate Boy. He says, apologies or not, he should face the law. Ike Ekweremadu is a good man. If what he did in UK was here, Mariah could have said, maybe they should apologize and maybe we should forgive him. Yeah. Are we not ready for a lawful society?
Wait. Let's unpack that, because that's pretty heavy. It's really important for us, because the truth is, unless we want to fake and pretend that we're not Nigerians, all of us, something happens, we're calling Nima, please, what did you do last month? That is who we are. Let's not pretend. But so I'll let you talk business. So the point is that because we do things differently, we're not like the West, where it's black or white. If we go, our democracy must be customized to be. Our democracy must be to reflect our African culture. Our belief system, everything we're doing must be the same way that we have modernized suits to Ankara suits. We have customized it ourselves. Therefore, in this situation, Seun Kuti apologizes to Nigerians, to Nigerian police. I say, Emma Binu.
Nigerians
I mean, that is how Nigerians, that's how we are.
Beautiful, and yet you ask us every day on this table if we want a Nigeria that works or we want a kangaroo place. We have to decide. Being a Nigerian does not take out the consequences of your actions. Even back in the days, you commit an offense like this, they call Umuada for you. You buy ram, you buy goat, you buy a cow, you do sacrifices, they take you round, you dance around the village, you tie cloth, you are humbled for the action, even though forgiveness will come. Even when the scripture says forgive, doesn't mean that you will take out the consequences. Yeah. The consequences, God always pushes it to you. You have to serve the time. If you do the crime, you serve the time. But forgiveness is now the healing part where we have forgiven you, we have accepted you, but go and sweep that street so that next time you will not do it. We must decide, Morayo. So let it not be that when it comes to our own, we have a way of saying this is the way Nigerians do it.
Let's not pretend.
Then when it comes to outside, that's where that you don't know. You will see that be hitting the table. No, you must do the gradually. You must do the right.
Brian is being very realistic, and I like that.
All of us, even the viewers that are watching, all of us will call somebody because like, please do. They've arrested my car. My husband's car was his staff got in trouble with the law. And they arrested them at the last mile office and everything. And they called the drama. My brother did not call anybody because he was like, I'm not going to call anybody. When he got to the place, he now found out the person in charge, his family member. He tried to call that one just even. I'm sorry, Oga, this is the fine. They didn't even do family. After he paid the fine,
then let's talk.
Which is fine. Which is how it should be. Yeah. But in Nigeria, once you know somebody, Papa is in charge of last man. That's how we are.
Maria, you are right. You have painted the Nigerian picture, but we want a difference, right?
So we're being idealistic.
Yes, so not idealistic, realistic.
So a middle ground. See, that be far western, far Nigerian. I mean, middle ground.
I agree. The middle ground may be in court. What the judgment may be. He may get something because of who he is, because this is first-time offender. So that is what you allow the court to decide. Okay, we will not lock you up and throw away the keys. I don't think, but we'll make sure that you do community service. And I was going to make a point that we see celebrities abroad when they make a mistake, they still come out and apologize, and then they go and commit the fine, serve the punishment. And I just remember that I think the Archbishop of Canterbury just recently was fined £500 for overspeeding. Can you imagine? Yeah. Like that sort of person. And he paid the fine. So we want to, the reason, I know we call it Western, but the reason they are doing that because they have recognized that that's the only way to keep a sane society. That's the only way things will work. If you're not constantly begging for this person and begging for that. So if we want it to work as well, we have to park that our Nigerianness aside, one side, and allow, the society to work
Let me take this call from Peter. Good morning, Peter. Are you there?
Hello.
You're live. Oh, Yakub, I'm sorry. Yakub.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you're live.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I totally disagree. Some callers say that it's beyond apology. Yes, we all know that what Seun Kuti did is wrong, but at the same time, it is not beyond apology. I didn't think that instead of Seun did another video says that the policeman is trying to kill him and leave. I didn't think that the whole apology to the family of that very particular policeman and then to Nigerian as a whole to calm the nerves. But Morayo, there's something that I need to point out here. That very particular policeman did not rehearse. One, all because he knew Seun very well. I didn't think it is me, ordinary Nigerian citizen that does not know to this very particular policeman. By now, Seun could have been where he ought to be. Even what Seun did is so wrong because it is somebody that a lot of people is looking up to. And then I will say this. If Seun know that he has did something wrong, the best thing for him is to do that apology, and then even if he go to the court, he may say that I'm not guilty, or he pleaded that he's guilty of this offense, and then the law is going to take its course. And then Nigerian police, I think they have changed. They are still go through all this rehabilitation or something, but if not. What you are saying this morning is could have been another way around. Good morning and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Yakub. That's another angle that if it was you and I, so like they could have gotten a slap back or something. But hey, you never know. But we have to wrap up on this.
What we call the Nigerian culture came from corruption and sentiments. Nigerians were not like this before. So let us go back. We want a society that works. Let us go back to attaching certain consequences and following through on those consequences, irrespective of whose ox is God. We have to go back to that. That was the Nigeria we knew. Nigeria had, I remember some write-ups about how when the white people came here and how they wanted to break us. They said these people were highly spiritual people who had integrity, they listed some of the characteristics of Nigerians that we don't have anymore. So it's not that we are trying to uphold the Nigerian corruption and sentiment. This was something that we acquired with the politicians. So let us go back to the old ways where if a crime is committed, you must do the things that are necessary to be done so that we have a healthy society.
All right, we have to wrap up on thing. That's all we can take on this. But I do remember that one of my mentors was telling me one of the reasons why she never really liked President Buhari at the time was the fact that he executed 4 young men back in this time when he was general, back in the day. And she felt that, yes, those young boys, prominent, beautiful, not beautiful, handsome young men who were, I think it was either drugs or something, I can't remember what the crime was back then. And they were executed, and he was trying to send a message that he would not condone any of those behaviors. But she hadn't, her heart never forgave him because she felt that you could have put them in prison or something. Something could have been done. But I understand there's black and there's white. But I also believe that as we are doing the black and white at some point, we should also understand there's a place for mercy. I agree that he should do the time. Yeah. But in doing the time, we should also understand the weightiness of who he is. I mean, there are a lot of us that's separating people to be above the law and under the law. The rule of law here. I agree with you. As I said, in everybody's generation, there are few voices that are advocates. Not all of us can be voices. Seun Kuti is one of those prominent voices. And that's why we shouldn't be very firm. Mistakes. That's why, so that's why there are lessons to learn across 360 lessons from him, from us, the people, all of us. There's so many expectations from all that even we bestow authority upon him that he might not even be ready for. Yeah. So there's so many things that we do. So it's a 360 round thing that we need to all look and see that we do apologize. We also apologize for being part of the whole somehow. But let us we have to wrap up.
To whom much is given, much
so to whom much is given, much is expected, and I do hope that as he goes to report himself to the police this morning, his lawyer will do the right thing, and at some point we'll see exactly what happened and what aggravated him to cause this kind of situation. That's all we can take on this segment. When we return, we discuss Hilda Baci. She's been trending all over the weekend, and trust me, we got to talk about her. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, You guessed it. Women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe...
Thanks for staying with us. Nigerians desperately needed some good news this weekend, and we got it from the Nigerian chef and entrepreneur. 27-year-old Hilda Baci has currently broken the Guinness World Record for the longest cooking time by an individual. Hilda announced in an Instagram post back April 22nd, April 2nd, that she was going to make her 5-year-long dream a reality. She stated she will cook for 4 days and 4 nights to break the 87 hours, 45 minutes set by Chef Latta London in Rewa, India, back in 2019. This is a big feat for her and Nigerians in general. What are your thoughts on this? We're pretty excited. But first, I'm told that we have our TVC presenter, Winfrey Agbeleshe, at the center where the cooking is being held. Good morning, Winfrey. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, Mariah.
So tell us what's going on there. We heard she's officially broken the record this morning, correct?
Yes, so we're here and we're literally here at the Hilda Baci Cook-A-tHON, and she definitely has done amazingly well so far. We're here at the Amore Gardens in Lekki, and the place is crowded. We have Nigerians all over the place literally supporting and loving up on her. So far, she has literally beat the record of 86:45 minutes, and she's literally going ahead to set another record of 90 hours, 96 hours precisely. Now we're over the 90-hour mark by 30 minutes, and Hilda is still going strong on her feet, and she's still cooking.
Wow.
So we hear that a lot of people are there to support. They are sort of, trying to encourage her to continue. What do you think about the crowd that you're standing right in front of?
I think it's amazing because, we have Timojakolo here right now. Yesterday we had the Lagos State Governor, Baci himself here. We had, the Vice President over the phone with her, encouraging her, supporting her. We've had entertainers. We've had pastors as well. We've had so many people, Nigerians here, people that have no idea who Hilda is or who never knew her are literally here standing together as one Nigeria, supporting her to break this amazing record.
Winfrey, can you see her? If you can, what would you say her state of mind is at right now? Would you say she's still strong? Is she looking happy? Is she looking tired? How would you say she's Where would you say she is at right now, mentally?
Okay, so let me turn back for a bit. So she's right there. I don't know if you can...
we can see her. We can.
We're seeing her. She's standing right there. She was stretching her waist for a bit. She's still going on. She's cooking. Earlier, she made the popular rota dish, bread and eggs, the popular meshai dish. And now she's literally going in for something more continental. And she's still going. I mean, right now, she doesn't have a smile on her face, but like but at intervals, she literally smiles, and then her energy is still up. People are still there. You can hear them cheering and cheering her on and calling her name. And I mean, Hilda, she's literally greeting someone now,
I'm telling you,
and she's still strong. She's still looking very, very strong. Good. She's smiling now. She has a smile on her face. Right
now. I can see that. I can see that. So, Winfrey, we obviously it's as well put together. But what would you say that? Have you spoken to anybody within the crowd that are there cheering? And what's their energy like? What are they saying? How are they encouraging? What are the things you're hearing over there? Why are they there?
They're amazing. The energy so far is really great. Nigerians are out here en masse, literally cheering for her. You won't believe it that at the gates are flooded, and they're never letting people in because they're trying to control the crowd and all of that. But people are outside. We had bikers earlier on also here to display a little bit and just leave, just to keep the energy abuzz. But people are here cheering on, being excited about her. I actually have one of her coordinators standing right beside me here.
Let's talk to the coordinator for a moment. Is she willing to talk to us?
All right. Okay, so Mr. Ebuka, please can you step forward? Hello, so this is Mr. Ebuka, one of Hilda's coordinator. Hi, Mr. Ebuka, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing good. Everybody's tired, but we thank God that we've come this far and we are almost there.
Amazing. So, of course, Mr. Ebuka, I spoke to you earlier. You spoke about how you've been here for 6 days, over 6 days now. So tell me, what has it been like putting this event together?
It's been great. It's been stressful. It's been amazing. But it's been for a good cause. Now, Hilda holds a world record, not just Nigerian record, Africa record. It's a world record, and I don't see anybody breaking this record. Honestly, it would take a whole lot of guts to try and do what she just did here. And I'm sure she has inspired a lot of people to go for it. If you can, go for it. Don't just sit back, wait. Go for it.
Amazing.
Winfrey, and let me ask.
Amazing. So that is Mr. Ebuka's take that people should go for it. Yes.
I was going to ask concerning the rain that happened last night. How did they handle, how was the cooking during that period? Did they experience flooding? Were they disturbed by the heavy winds that we experienced over the night?
Sorry, can you come again?
I was asking about the heavy rains overnight. You know, the rains were quite heavy. Did it affect the cooking? Was there a disruption? Because I was quite worried when we felt the heavy flooding that is potentially possible on the island. So could you tell us how has that been so far for them?
To be honest, the rains didn't affect people's support, as people were here overnight and people were soaked. So I've spoken to people so far talking about how they were soaked and they have dried up right now. So the truth is, I mean, we're in Lekki, so the front of the gates are actually flooded, but people are still coming in. That's not affecting the cooking. The kitchen is set up in such a way that she's enclosed. So we can see her through a glass. And the rains didn't get in there at all. But then where people are sitting, we have chairs arranged here. And we can see some of the structures, some of her banners and all of that toppled over by the wind. But that doesn't affect the people coming in and people still coming here to support. I have people overnight standing here cheering her on still.
Fantastic. All right, let's go. Thank you so much, Winfrey, for covering this for us. We really needed to know what was going on there. But let's go on a break. When we come back, we hear Nigerians' views, their thoughts on this exciting new feat for this young lady, Hilda Baci. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not There's no judgment.
No, and I respect,
they'll judge you definitely,
I respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain type of people. But what I just...
Thanks for staying with us. As we're having this really feel-good topic today because the whole of Nigeria, and I think also globally, are all celebrating and rooting for Hilda Baci as she's cooking continuously to break the current Guinness World Record of the longest session, a Cook-A-tHON, going on right now on the island, and there are lots of Nigerians there celebrating her. What are your thoughts? We spoke to Winfrey to know how she looked a bit tired. That's we still her hands were looking heavy to me. You know, like she just stare at the, you know. Yes, my own feeling. That's my own review of what I saw earlier. But what are your own thoughts on the entire experience? How do you think this would impact her career going forward? How do you think this will impact the entire cooking industry? What are your thoughts on this? Bisi, you want to go first?
She has blown. That's it. And she did not just wake up to blow. She knew what she wanted. I think according to the story, she's wanted this for 5 years now. She knew what she wanted. She worked towards it. She planned it out. And now she's going ahead to be in that space to get that which she desired. Yeah. She is a huge inspiration to anybody who is dreaming big. You know, sometimes we dream big and then we say, are you sure I can get it? This is beyond my reach. I don't have 2 heads, so, and then we limit ourselves. But this is a woman who knows what she wants, or a young girl, I don't know how old she is, who knows what she wants, who is determined to get in it, and not just breaking the record. She's broken the record, but she's not stopping. She wants to make a mark. She has the number of hours she wants to get. That's a determined human being, and this is a huge inspiration to a lot of people. Some people want the easy way out, right? All of us want to become stars somehow, but others will choose to, let me do the easy one. The low-hanging fruit. Let me just dance and twerk and that. But this is someone who is showing this using her natural giftings and talents and skills that she has developed over the years. And I'm sure by the time we interview her, you will hear something like, maybe I've been practicing I've been doing this consistently. I want to check how my threshold can get, how many hours without rest, you know. She prepared for it. So this is time and chance happening to them all, and taking that time and chance and making it work for you. I am impressed. I am excited. I'm happy for her. And I'm happy that Nigerians are out there supporting her. It's amazing.
Let me take Victor from Enugu. Been calling for a minute. Good morning, Victor. Are you there?
Good morning.
You're live. Welcome to the
show. I'm talking concerning the Seun Kuti saga.
It's your view, let it count. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate such a thing happened, you know. But if I may ask, if he was stopped by armed robbers, could he come out to slap the armed robbers?
That's a question for Seun Kuti. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Your thoughts on Hilda's so far? I mean, you mentioned about the crowd. You see, people always make it look as if Nigerians were just such a bunch of bad people. No, but Nigerians are good, heartwarming people. They saw this, they came out. Everybody, people that I'm like, you are there. Everybody has gone there to just show support. How did you interpret that when you saw the crowd supporting her?
So one, I feel that Hilda is a beacon. She represents hope. She represents belief. She represents that you can aspire for something and make it happen. And she is now just by this singular action. Of course, this action must have taken years to get to this point, but by doing this, she has inspired many people. Brilliant. So one, congratulations, Hilda. It is a whole lot of work. She's been on her feet for the past 4 days, cooking with just 1 hour break in each 24 hours. I am happy for her. I'm happy for the support system we've gotten. And I wasn't surprised that Nigerians gathered around her, because I recollect when, what's her name? The dancing, Kafi was doing dancing too. A lot of people gathered around Kafi as well to support. Nigerians, we like success. We like when people will gather around you if you're doing well to cheer you on to achieve your goals. It's just that in this case, it is even more because we have social media. Everywhere you look, you're seeing her face. I loved her mother's prayers. I loved her mother's support. She's from a cooking family. Many people try to become popular, and you know, we've seen sex tapes, we've seen nudity, we've seen a lot of people trying to get that buzz by doing negative things. But she went about this through hard work. What would happen to her? Of course, Bisi said, she has blown. I'm seeing Netflix cooking shows. I'm seeing endorsements everywhere. Like, you can do, she's writing her story. Hallelujah. Intentionality of creating her future. Like, there's no other way to say it. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited.
Your thoughts on this?
For me, I'm just truly impressed. You know, I feel that Bisi and Tokwe have said everything I need to say about Hilda herself and the hard work she's put in and what she's doing. But also, I want to use this to celebrate Nigerians. I love that we are there and supporting her and cheering her on and rooting for her. Myself, every few hours when I can, I go on her live and I just press that heart button. Just go, so that she will say, and I just go Hilda, go Hilda. And for me, it's, you know, usually when we see things like that, it's almost always the American story, the British story, only them. Today is the Nigerian story of a young girl from this cooking family, and she put her mind together and her dreams together, and she one day broke the record. We would read about her, we would have movies about her, we will use her story to encourage our young children. When we go to school and we want to tell a story, we will have a Hilda Baci story to tell to Nigerian students, and it's relatable to them, and it's physical, and it's possible. And it also shows that superheroes, you know, especially when we're talking with children, superheroes are not created differently. They're just like you and you and you.
Believe in yourself.
Only when you put your time and effort and decide to do, you know, achieve a goal, then you become a superhero. Anyone can achieve what they want to achieve once they set their minds to it. And I'm so proud to be a Nigerian and part of this story today.
I mean, I'm really excited because one of the things that I've been quite upset about recently was how politics divides us all so much. You know, everybody remembers, oh, she's Igbo, oh, yes, she's Yoruba, oh, she's from the north, she's from the south, she wears clothes, she's Christian, you know.
They use those things to divide us. And some people, we use that to divide ourselves. But this moment, nobody remembered, oh, she's from this place. She's just Nigerian. And that's the true Nigerian spirit that we have. It's there. But people, those who have agendas, who have ill beliefs towards the Nigerian dream, who just want to tear this nation apart, will make us look as if we're divided. And that's not the truth. The reality is that everybody, black, white, Nigerian, Muslim, Christian, everybody gathered. Politicians were there. Showed up to support. Pastors came. Hollywood people came to support. Muslims were there to support a human being, a Nigerian, doing such. So that's who we are. And we must remember this situation when politicians or people with bad agendas try to divide us as a nation.
So Mariah, let's not allow them. They try to divide us, but we actually allow them to be used, ourselves to be used as tools to go through the division. We need to stop that. That's one. On the other hand, a win for one is a win for all. Yes, what I usually see is this crab mentality in little clusters. So when somebody's trying to rise, other people are trying to pull down. But if we understand that it's our name, it's Nigeria. We have, facing the international community, we have a lot of Nigerians known for bad things. We have good names. We are brilliant people. We are talented people. We are interesting people to have around. Yes. I remember when I went to Botswana for an activity, and I was one of the few Nigerians that were there. People wanted to have conversations with Nigerians. We bring the light when we come. Let us remember that and support one another to get to the top. Because when they are calling Nigerians for good things, I am in Nigeria. I feel like I know the Hilda already. I feel like she's my sister. I'll see her tomorrow. I'll hug her. I'll kiss her. I'm inspired by her. I'll use her to tell stories to my children that this is possible. So her win is our win. Absolutely. Your win is my win. And that's how we should see ourselves going forward.
Let's keep comments on social media. I mean,
Fiona says we shall not divide. Nigeria is one.
All of social media is all about her anyway.
Ademola says Hilda has demonstrated to young Nigerians that there's success in hard work and people can do well in Nigeria when they are focused in life. I want to take that again. Yes. People can do well in Nigeria when they are focused in life. It's not easy to stand and cook for several hours, thankless, talk less of days. Congrats to Hilda, and I wish her well for the future. And that is it. You know what I was saying about where we feel that the only way you can make it or be successful or make a name for yourself or be recognized or be supported is if you're outside this country. You can be all that and more in your country with the love and support of Nigerians.
You can bring the world
to you.
Oh, I love that.
She brought the world to her. And she didn't wait for anybody's validation. She by herself said, I was going to do this. And of course, I was told that some people did not sponsor. Some sponsors came late, but she didn't wait until everything aligned. She started moving, you know. And
I can't wait to have an interview with her.
Honestly.
Well done, Hilda.
I mean,
we're proud of you.
Nigerians are proud of you. You're really the beacon, as Tokwe said earlier, and I'm happy that young people have this positive role model to reference for good things, and that's the idea. She's young, she's doing well, she's gotten the support of not just Nigerians, but globally. Even the person whose record she's broken has reached out to her. With me. So that's what we'll bring it back to you.
My children are in trouble. I'm tired. How can you be tired? You guys for 4 days?
I mean, I can't wait for her to go to India. I even meet that girl. Come to Nigeria.
No, let the girl come to Nigeria. Excuse me? Let the girl come to Nigeria.
The world has opened up to her.
That's the beauty of the Nigerian spirit. So Nigeria can be better. We can really achieve whatever we want to achieve within this 4 walls of this country. And let us believe that whenever you're down, just remember Hilda did it, you can.
So what Guinness Book World Records are we planning to break as a team?
Do that.
I think